You ready to let the dogs out?
What? Do what?
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Join Pet Pals TV's Patty Spitler as we celebrate our furry friends.
Cats, dogs, and all the critters in your family.
Celebrate the bond between pets and people and meet Hoosier heroes saving four-legged lives.
I love it. Good. I'm glad.
It's the Positively Patty podcast.
I can't wait anymore. Me neither.
Now, your host, here's Wish TV contributor Patty Spitler.
From Wish TV, I'm Pet Pals TV host Patty Spitler, and this is the Positively Patty podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network. And on this episode, we're talking to an old friend of mine. We go way back. Steve Sweitzer was the chief photographer at Wish TV for 30 years. I worked with him many, many, many times. We also became friends because he loves his critters. He even feeds the squirrels, but that's another story. Right now he has a white German Shepherd. That is his breed of choice, named Ghost. So we're going to talk about Ghost. Going to find out what some of his favorite stories have been also for Pet Pals TV. And we may even allude to the fact that he's our tech talk guru on Great Day TV. So Steve Sweitzer wearing many, many hats right now on both of our shows. And now we welcome you once again to the Positively Patty podcast here at Wish TV, and a very special guest today and his doggy, Steve Sweitzer, who, my gosh, an icon at Wish TV.
Fun to be back.
And back again for the podcast, and also on Pet Pals TV and Great Day TV. And Steve, I've known you for a long time. When did you start at Wish TV?
Ooh. Late 70s. I was here for the blizzard of 78.
Wow.
That was my first winter at Wish TV. So,
what a winter.
Great way to get introduced to broadcast television. I remember I was poor. I didn't have the proper equipment.
Oh my.
I got frost. What is it?
What? Boots?
No, I had bad boots, and I got my toe froze.
Oh, no.
Out covering a fire close to here. Frostbite. That's what I'm looking for.
Right.
And, I still get a little tingle when it gets cold.
Well, I'll bet
but
you
that was
do.
my first winter at Wish.
How about that?
Yeah.
And Steve Sweitzer, chief photographer here at Wish TV for 30 years. Amazing. Then you left. Then you came to Pet Pals TV. Just when you think you're out, they drag you back in. And Steve is a reporter, videographer, sets up his own shoots, often sets up his own topics. One of the first stories you did for Pet Pals TV, and you love doggies, was with Malibu, your white German Shepherd. Tell me what
our German Shepherd Malibu was 10 years old and was really crippled with arthritis. And it was painful to watch her get off a chair. It really was painful. And we heard about this new procedure where stem cell transplant for dogs. And we decided we'd give it a try. And you had heard, we were trading emails and stuff, and you wanted to come do a story.
To do a story, yeah.
So
2012.
you followed us through the whole process, and it was a several month-long process.
Yeah.
And I didn't shoot it. You had somebody else shoot the story, but when it came time to put it together, you asked me to edit it, and that was the first thing that I did for Pet Pals TV.
And now here you are, our star reporter on Pet Pals TV and Great Day TV, Tech Talk Guru. Your love of dogs goes way back, and pets. Tell us a little bit about Ghost, who is here right now. Ghost is another white German Shepherd.
Ghost
Malibu
is our
passed.
fifth.
Our fifth? Okay.
Fifth white German Shepherd. Our first male German Shepherd. And he's my buddy. The other ones were kind of, they say, you really your dog only has one owner or one. Right. And it's always been my wife. And we went through a rough patch when Malibu died. Right. And my wife Sheila said, I just can't do it again. And, I finally said, I really want a dog. And she said, well, if you get a dog, it's got to be your dog. You're going to have to train it, and so I did. And so he goes everywhere with me. He's my buddy.
And he has helped you. You were in a bad accident. You got hit by a car on your
bicycling, yes, on the Monon.
And Ghost really helped you physically and mentally get back on the bike. You had to walk with him. He'd go beside you when you were on the bike again.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
And mentally, what did he do for you?
Well, it's like everybody says, dogs are, they're so important for our peace of mind. And, now during COVID, it's just me and Sheila and Ghost around the house. And, he's up on the couch watching TV with us and, cuddling and we're both, she takes him for a walk in the morning and I go to the park and play ball with him. And people are saying, I never get out of the house. And, we both have to get out of the house to do things with him.
He's over here right now giving me some cuddles.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Now, what are some special, again, talking with Steve Sweitzer, Pet Pals TV and Great Day TV, our fabulous reporter, videographer. What are some of the challenges of Shepherds are very smart. And what are some other special challenges of this breed?
Well, he's big and strong, and so, and he's wandering all over the place. And I was just going to say, he's at the point where you've got to be able to have them behave. And the other thing that we were very very concerned about was that he was social, and we went to a breeder. And it was one of the things that we were looking for in a dog. He's 90 pounds.
Yep.
So that's too big a dog to just be able to run wild. And
right.
So the fact that
he
he'll
loves
do,
people.
He'll go out and eat with us, but he'll also go do a downstay for half an hour, while we're eating dinner someplace. So
he's got his head on your
so we spent
chest.
Plenty of time training. And actually, when we got him from the breeder, it was like, applying a kid to college. We had to fill out a long questionnaire about this, that, and the other. And one of the things that the breeder was concerned about was that we had previous experience with shepherds.
Yes.
Because my wife said, we want a dog with personality. And she goes, well, you got one. We joke about she called him a thinker. And so when you ask him to do something, he doesn't do it snap, snap. He thinks about it, and then he does the downstay.
That's what Stewie does, too.
Yeah.
He was pushing my arm here because he wouldn't put my arm up so I could touch him. Again, let's emphasize, responsible breeders. You get to see where the puppy was born. You get to meet the mom dog. You get full health records. And oftentimes the breeder will pick out the puppy for you.
It was funny. She had picked out two dogs for us, and she said, you can have anyone you want, but these are the two based on what you said. And we saw him, and it was like, nope, no question about it. This is the guy for us.
Well, he is certainly a perfect pick.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Pet Pals TV. I dragged you into the show, but what are some of the fun things that you've gotten to do, and what are some things you've learned? So I'll let you take it from there.
Well, I one of the things that I've in my office, I've got the picture up on the wall of our Iditarod trip. Who would think that I'm going for this, this just little tiny show? And, the next thing I know, we're off to the Iditarod. We went to Westminster Dog Show. We've done some really big stories together. And then the thing I've worked on recently that's just been a lot of fun was a series on the finalists for the Indianapolis Prize, which the Indianapolis Zoo awards every 2 years
conservation prize.
To the top conservationist in the world. And when they got it down to the finalists, for 6 months, I did a story every month about one of these finalists, and these are really amazing people. And they're working with, tigers and whales, and so the video to go along with the stories was really fun to work with.
I love doing it because I learn something new just about every day. I mean, people say, how do you know that? Well, if I don't know, I know somebody who does know, and I can point him in that direction. But again, the things that I learn are just incredible. Speaking of the zoo, Indianapolis Zoo is one of the top zoos in the world.
In the world, yeah.
And they are the number one zoo. They have, I think it's 9 people working full-time in their conservation department. And that, generally, these people do it on the side. They're doing it full-time. Dr. Rob Shoemaker is the head CEO and president. He's done wonderful things over there. So, yes, it's fun to learn new things. Some of the stories that you've done that stand out to me, let me back up a little bit. Lately, you've been having to do stories by Skype because of the COVID thing, and you do that very well too. I like to be there in person, one-on-one, but your Skype skills are excellent. But one of the stories, Dogs of War, you got some excellent video. What did you learn about that? Tell us about that.
Well, there are 2 stories that are dog-related. One was, and you put me in touch with these folks at the World War I Museum, and I didn't know, but dogs played a big role in World War I. Mm-hmm. And again, I was able to connect with them via Skype, and then they sent me a lot of pictures of dogs were couriers, and again, I didn't think about it, but dogs, terriers, were huge with these guys in the trenches because they were rat killers. Mm-hmm. And rats were a huge problem in these trenches. And one of the pictures is this little tiny terrier, and there's the whole hillside full of dead rats that this guy had caught. And then another story that I...
And let me add to that, one thing else that they did for the soldiers, they brought them cigarettes.
Right.
And I mean, now you're not supposed to smoke, but back then they needed their cigarettes under these dire conditions.
And they could get them in there. The other story that I did dog-related, I met a sculptor who does life-size dogs. It's an installation with 6 or 7, and it's called the Wounded Warriors Project. Right. And all of these dogs are wounded. So, like there's a German Shepherd that is, this dog is, just barely standing up. He's so whipped from, he was a Desert Storm bomb-sniffing dog, and you could just see the emotional toll that doing that. And then other dogs that are missing a leg or, missing an ear, and these are real, they're reproductions, they're life-size, lifelike, but he's also brought a little artistic creativity to it. But working with him was, again, just it was so cool to get to know this guy. And I took Ghost. It was so funny when I'm visiting in his studio. He's got out on a big farm, and he had a sculpture of a German Shepherd out in the field. And when Ghost saw that dog, he did not know what to make of this thing. And, to watch him, just trying to figure out, what the heck is this?
What's that? So much fun. Well, we have so many stories to tell. Oh, and something for the new year, too. I know you're working on a story because I poked you on this. I gave you a goose on this one to do the, it's pet-related goose, the names.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Rover.com. Every year, they do a survey of all the names that are popular. And, there are all kinds of COVID-related names and names that, relate to people being shut in. And they talk about how sports-related names are way down
Wow.
this year
Whoa.
because there's
Sports
not
is way down. Yeah, okay.
to watch.
I didn't think about
but I think you'll enjoy it. It's a very entertaining story. Some of the the punny names. It's not just dogs, cats as well. And I won't give it away. I'll just tease it and say there's some pretty clever names out there that are very popular this year.
Coming up in 2021, look for more Steve Sweitzer. Also, I want to emphasize, as people who watch the show know, we try to put a positive angle to our stories. So even though all that we've been through this year, we try to make it, if not everything can be lighthearted, but it can be informative
and
fun, and learn something too. So that, again, I learn things every single day. I don't know why'd you name Ghost? I know he's white, but other than that,
Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Jon Snow's
okay.
dire wolf was Ghost.
Okay.
And
See,
so
I was just thinking because he was white.
No, that's where it came from. Yeah.
Oh, my heavens. Well, he's a good boy. Something else real quickly before we go. Your son, Brian, I was thinking about him the other night. He's all grown up now, but he used to, when I traveled a lot, he would come over to my house because we lived a couple doors down from each other. And he would come over and take care of my kitties on the weekend. And then one night, I came home early, and he came over to take care of the cats, and I would talk to him, and I'd say, "Hi, Brian." He'd go, "Hi." And one day I said, "Hi, Brian." He goes, "Well, hi there, Patty." His voice changed in 1 week.
And he came on the Iditarod with us.
Yes, he did.
He helped me, on that. And again, he still talks about that.
Oh, that was fun. Well, we'll have to, when we can, we'll have to do more travels again.
Oh, yeah.
Travels again. Again, look for Steve Sweitzer not only on Pet Pals TV, but also on Great Day TV. Tech Talk is your forte. We turn to you to help with things that we need help with, which is a lot of things. And as we sign off, I'll say that I'm Patty Spittler, and you'll say that
I'm Steve Sweitzer.
That's it for the Positively Patty podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This has been Positively Patty Podcast from Wish TV. I'm Patty Spittler. We know you want to be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast and check out new updates. We do it every single week. You can also learn more at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. So just do it.
Discover more pet-friendly stories at petpalstv.com and stay with Wish TV online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and discover more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.